Hi, I'm Alan Bresnik from Light Reading. We're here at the Cable Next Gen Europe event in London, and I'm speaking to Hanno Narjus from Teleste. Hi, Hanno.
Hi, Alan.
Good to see you here.
How are you?
All right.
Great.
So, the hot topic of the day and in general in the industry has been network transformation. Well, how do you see the current status of the network, and what do you think are the biggest challenges to carrying out that transformation?
Now the hot topic, of course, is transformation to distributed access architecture in general and remote PHY in more particular, and the whole industry has been really investing a lot and working hard to get readiness for deployments. And there are 4 elements in that readiness. First one is DOCSIS, second one is legacy video services, and the third one is legacy management systems. And the fourth, last but not least, interop. And DOCSIS readiness is pretty much there. The whole driver has been DOCSIS and data. The standards were made for DOCSIS, so no wonder that the DOCSIS implementations are pretty robust. There is still a bit more work to be done on the vendor roadmaps to support legacy video and then these out-of-band functions for legacy management systems. And obviously, the interoperability is a never-ending task. It's testing, and good progress, but still, it's a never-ending story.
Okay, so let's talk about the status of interoperability of distributed access architecture. What are you seeing happening there?
Now there is good momentum happening in 2018 around reaching interoperability. The first part of that is turning the standard into multi-vendor interop, and Cable Labs and the interops. There has been excellent progress during 2018 in Cable Labs interops. Secondly, there are more and more cable operators out there who have equipped their laboratory or are doing it right now in order for them to do the interop testing in their laboratory with their chosen vendors. And then the third part that has been getting more progress is that vendors are collaborating one-to-one. So for instance, we have CCAP core systems in our laboratory which we use for our R&D purposes. So all 3 fronts there has been good progress. So we are quite hopeful that in 2019 we will get pretty robust interoperability to enable multi-vendor field deployments. One example of that is our announcement last summer, where we believe it is one of the first announcements in the world where a live remote PHY system has been built using Teleste RPD module and Cisco CBR8 on the core side. And it's a live system serving live customers in Finland.
Hanno, Teleste is known for its intelligent network, which mainly relies on the use of transponders. How's it changed with distributed access architecture?
Right, so we have been innovating for more than 10 years in putting sensors into the field equipment and building centralized management environment to collect all the data from the field for improving the network operations and the quality of the network as well as saving cost. Now there are good news when we are moving to remote PHY architecture, because we do not anymore need the expensive transponder, because there is by definition IP connectivity between the remote PHY node and the central office. So now the service providers get all the benefits and goodies of the intelligence concept without CapEx penalty in the transponders. And we believe there is tremendous value. A couple of examples where the value can be in distributed architecture scenarios. The first one I want to mention is power saving. So we can do more dynamic power saving schemes benefiting the intelligence in the field equipment and in the tools. And then the second example I would like to point out is to do automated streamlined deployments, one-touch principle, so that the cable tech does not need to be skilled not only in HFC but also in all the DOCSIS technologies. He just needs to push a button and the device will configure itself automatically.
Okay, Hanno, where are we now with distributed architecture rollouts? Are we seeing more remote PHY rollouts, more remote MAC PHY rollouts? How do you see it all shaping out?
Right. So now we are seeing the technology and product readiness coming together. There is still some work to be done, but we are talking about months of further work, not years. So the technology and products coming from vendors like us starts to be available for robust deployments. Now the momentum is shifting to the operator side. There is important work to be done on the operator side to reach readiness for smooth rollouts. And we recognize kind of our responsibility also to help the service providers do proper migration path, how to minimize service outages, how to transition from current DOCSIS services to the remote PHY scenario, video services, etc. That needs careful work, and I believe there will be a lot of attention now going to the service provider side to get readiness happening. Now, here in Europe, we are a bit ahead, perhaps, in the global scheme. And indeed, the MAC-PHY deployment started already a few years ago, and there are a couple of major rollouts that has happened already. And also now remote PHY is catching up. I would say that in Europe, we are talking about more than 10 deployment scenarios already for DAA. And I think that will be steadily growing. Now on the US side, of course, the volume deployments will be much more massive than here in Europe. And I think that 2019 will be a very exciting, critical year to see that how are the deployments starting also in the US, in Canada.
Okay, well, I look forward to looking at it next year and seeing what's been done in 2019.
Absolutely. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your time.
Thanks a lot.